Hi, Chad here with Purple Color Life. And as you can see, I am not in Northwest Pennsylvania. Here you see I'm driving to the Pittsburgh airport, starting a travel for work. I flew out of Pittsburgh and made my way to a layover in Las Vegas. So I had a couple hours in the Las Vegas airport. Great view of the newer section of the Las Vegas Strip from the airport. Made my way all the way to California in Anaheim. And of course, the first thing that caught my attention was a Stihl chainsaw and a group of people cutting down a palm tree. Now this is, as you can see, a huge palm tree. You know, I'm not super familiar with palm trees, but the ones I have seen while traveling don't usually get this big in diameter. So I was interested to see and talk to these guys about felling that palm tree. So the Stihl chainsaw that the guy is using here is the Stihl MS461 with a 25-inch bar. You can see here he's making his wedge cut. And again, I don't know that much about palm trees, so I did get a chance to talk to these guys. It's really interesting to hear about their work and the collection of saws they have. They use all Stihl chainsaws. They've got from the small handheld saws, or if they're doing limbing work, they are professional tree trimmers. So they have a variety of equipment, as you can imagine. But this Stihl MS461 is their favorite saw for cutting down a tree. So you can see he's got his wedge cut there. So, you know, I've cut up my fair share of firewood trees, and I've cut down standing dead timber, but this was the first time in my life that I had witnessed someone cutting down a palm tree. I never actually even thought about it. You know, you see all those palm trees there in the background, they do keep growing taller, and typically the palms are all at the top, and you don't really think about their kind of end of life or how long they live, and they said this one was actually pretty big, it needed to come down. So you can see they've got the pylons there prepared for it to fall. Thought that was an interesting way to help protect the blacktop a little bit. They have a rag down and then those pylons. That 461 is certainly a great sounding saw. Right onto those pylons. Perfect positioning. Now there were guys obviously holding onto that rope and helping direct it, but he did a good job of getting it to fall where he wanted it to. And when that thing hit, I was amazed at how big it actually is. You know, you see it up in the air and it doesn't look that big, but here you can see when the guys are walking by it, that's a very big diameter tree, especially at the top of it where all the palms have come out for the last many years. You can see here that as he starts to cut through those sections where the limbs have been coming out, it's really dusty, and it's a lot different consistency than what I had imagined. He's kind of directing traffic, helping the rest of the crew to know where to go and what to do next. You see the top of the tree kind of broke off there when the tree hit the ground. But you'll see here, as he starts cutting through that top section, how really dusty it is. And it just kind of falls out of there in chunks. But you can see that, you know, when he moves this, there is a center section to that tree. The saw just does a great job of cutting right through it like it's butter. It's kind of a unique thing to cut through the top of a palm tree like this. Where, you know, it's kind of got that pineapple look to the outside of it. So it was neat to see how they cut that up into chunks. And I noticed that his particular saw didn't have any teeth on it, any dogs. So I think that was probably because when you're cutting through a lot of palm trees like this, it's probably easier not to have those dogs catching. As you can see, he's just kind of working it there into the center of the tree, and then letting those big chunks just kind of fall out. You can see how big that tree is. Again, that's a 25-inch bar. They take care of sharpening all their own chains. He said this section of the tree actually does do some dulling of the chain because it's kind of like pulpy with you can see there's like some type of almost like a dirt in between those sections. But he never changed that chain out. You'll see later as he's cutting up the trunk of the tree, the chainsaw still does a great job cutting through the wood. I had a chance to talk to the supervisor, and he was asking, why I was interested in the chainsaw, and I was talking to him for a while, and he asked about the channel. So then I had to go do some work, and when I came back, they were working on this just a short little bit of time later, and they had talked about our YouTube channel, so here he's waving to be on YouTube. So you can see here now he's cutting some pretty thick cookies out of the trunk of that tree. And I'm thinking if I were the guy that had to lift those cookies into the back of the truck, I would be hoping that he'd cut them a little bit smaller, because you can see how heavy those things are as these guys lift them in there. They use that other cookie in front of the tree as a stopping point so that he doesn't get the tip of that 25-inch bar down into the blacktop. But look at the size of that cookie. Watch as this guy lifts it. I mean, that is a huge chunk of wood. Doing about one of those would really hurt your back. So thanks for watching. Obviously we weren't in Northwest Pennsylvania for this one, but I wanted to show you my experience of watching these guys with their Stihl MS461 cut down this huge palm tree. I thought it was pretty impressive, and of course the rural Chad and me was interested to see cutting up a tree. I did ask about if the palm tree is any good for firewood. They said no, it can't be used for firewood. It doesn't really burn, it just kind of smolders. So there you go. If you ever wondered, do palm trees make good firewood? The answer, according to these guys, is no. Thanks for watching. If this video entertained you in any way, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. We'll see you again the next time.